Hello everyone, today is 28th of September, Saturday, so I hope you will have a wonderful day and a great weekend. Now it's about 12 o'clock, middle of the day by Moscow time. I'm Levan Gudadze and this is my first update for a day in which I will share all the main news that are making headlines in Russian media outlets and Russian language pages on different internet platforms. On weekends, I don't have second updates or headlines, although if any breaking news, of course, I will make additional video on the channel. That's been said, let's talk about news now. And first of all, breaking news for this moment, which is that Israel is claiming that Israeli air forces, as a result of strike, eliminated Hezbollah leader. So the Israel Defense Forces has claimed it eliminated Hassan Nasrallah, the Secretary General of the Hezbollah paramilitary group, in a strike on Beirut, Lebanon. In a statement on Saturday, the IDF confirmed the media reports that the top official was killed in the bombing of an underground compound belonging to a militant group in the Dahir suburb in the Lebanese capital. Hassan Nasrallah will no longer be able to terrorize the world, IDF added. Hezbollah has so far neither confirmed nor denied the death of its leaders. Nasrallah was a 64-year-old, or maybe is. Hezbollah didn't yet confirm the information. So Nasrallah is widely regarded as one of the most influential figures in the Middle East and has earned their reputation as a sworn enemy of Israel. The cleric assumed the leadership of Hezbollah in 1992 and played a major role in increasing the group's strength and clout. Under his watch, it acquired long-range rockets that allow it to strike northern Israel while continuing to support the Palestinian armed group Hamas in Gaza and maintaining close ties with Iran. RT is writing. So this is of course a major development. On a world scale, because if information is confirmed, it is highly likely that Hezbollah will retaliate with their full force. There is such a possibility, and there is a risk also that Iran may get involved in this confrontation also, although of course more time and information is needed to have a better understanding about current and possible future developments in the region. Same time, RIA Novosti is reporting here that according to Israeli Defense Force, main military headquarters of the Hezbollah was also targeted in Beirut, and simultaneously IDF is mobilizing three battalions of the reservists. So this information can be also seen as an indicator that Israel is preparing for full-scale war with Hezbollah. So this is of course a breaking news for this moment, major escalation, and well, unfortunately it is highly likely, especially now, that Middle East will struggle to avoid full-scale regional war. Unfortunately, Western ruling class seems like will achieve what it wanted, and I said many times before that in my personal opinion, one of the main tasks main goals for the Western ruling class is to provoke regional war in the Middle East and disrupt shipping in the Persian Gulf and through Hormuz Strait, so that China will be cut from Middle Eastern energy sources. It seems like that's exactly what might happen as a result of this latest developments in between Israel and Lebanon. Let's continue with some other news, and of course, dear friends, whenever there will be update on situation in the Middle East, I will report about it on my Telegram during the day and in the next updates. And now let's go through some other news. TASS news agencies are reporting that Russian armed forces completely blocked Kyiv regime's formations inside their Ugledar. More and more confirmations that Kyiv regime's garrison in Ugledar is cut off from supply and support lines and are completely encircled. Also, several channels are reporting that most likely Russian side now will try to persuade garrison in Ugledar to lay down arms and surrender. If most likely some units will take recommendation and lay down and surrender, save their lives, but some others probably will try to break out from encirclement or will try to defend their positions, and well, most likely they will find their last stand in that city on South Donetsk sector of the front line. Let's see how the situation develops, but obviously Kyiv regime's garrison in Ugledar has no chance to stay in the city or maintain control over the southern parts of the city for a long time. Also, dear friends, we have reports that Russian armed forces establish full control over their biggest islands on the Dnipro river and the delta of the Dnipro river. I was reporting quite often that in Kherson direction there are constant struggle, constant fight between Russian and Kyiv regime's forces for control over the islands on a delta, in the delta of the Dnipro river. And as you can see, dear friends, on the picture, there is plenty of big and small islands, dozens and dozens in the delta, and there are also quite a number of islands on the Dnipro river itself, and the biggest ones from these islands are under full Russian control now, according to, I believe, governor of the Kherson region. Saldo reported about it. Yes, governor of the region, Vladimir Saldo, reported about this progress of the Russian armed forces in Kherson direction. Also, dear friends, we have these reports from RT that well, one of the German politicians that are gaining popularity as time goes by is stating that Kyiv should pay if it blew up Nord Stream pipelines. So Germany urgently needs an independent parliamentary probe into the Nord Stream sabotage. Veteran German left-wing politician Sarah Wagenknecht, most likely I'm butchering her name, but and sorry for that, Sarah Wagenknecht. You know, you can read it, dear friends, on the screen, I guess. So, veteran German left-wing politician Sarah Wagenknecht said in a video published on Thursday, if it's proven that Kyiv was behind the 2022 attack on the gas pipelines, it should be held responsible. Okay, the lawmaker, who also leads her own party, the Sarah Wagenknecht Alliance, BSW, questioned what she calls Berlin's ongoing defining silence full 2 years after the incident. Chancellor Olaf Scholz's cabinet has stubbornly refused to share any substantial details about the ongoing inquiry into blasts or its results with the parliament, she argued, well, she also saying that the need for investigation is all the more urgent since Ukraine, which is a recipient of the billions of German taxpayers' money, is the chief suspect. She is claiming, okay, I can understand that maybe she is using this topic now of Ukraine's or the regime's involvement, possible involvement in these attacks on Nord Stream pipelines to maybe advance her political party herself in a political stage, but let's be real here. This group that Western media is talking about of citizens of the Ukraine that allegedly blown up these pipelines, this group was set up from the very beginning as a sort of scapegoat, right? In reality, these pipelines were targeted by US. militaries and secret services. We all know this. Most likely Norway, UK, Poland were involved in this largest industrial terrorist attack that ever happened. Most likely, but this group of Kiev regime, it was a setup, by the way. It was a setup by CIA from very beginning, so that someone, they will then point out through their means on this group, so that they will take blame for this terrorist attack that was done by US. So if Sarah Wagenknecht wants real groups behind this terrorist attack to be brought to justice, she should talk about US's involvement and Biden's administration's involvement in this terrorist attack, not just the regime's involvement. But anyways, seems like it is obvious now that the Western ruling class made decision to blame everything on this scapegoat group of their Ukraine citizens to avoid responsibility, but the world knows perfectly well that this was a terrorist attack that was conducted by US, period. Also, dear friends, we are receiving reports about Russian strikes, Russian long-range precise strikes in a number of regions that are controlled by Kiev in this former Soviet Republic, including Kiev itself, Kiev region, the Dnipropetrovsk region, some other directions, and also Khmelnytsky region, by the way. Khmelnytsky region reports are that Russian armed forces once again targeted the Starokonstantinov airfield with the Kinzhal missiles, and several sources are reporting that more F-16s were destroyed there. So a few days ago, I reported about these rumors that are circulating on internet that as a result of Russian this long-range precise strike with the Kinzhal hypersonic missiles, about 4 F-16s of the Kiev regime was destroyed in this Starokonstantinov airfield. But then, and many sources reported about it, dear friends, although there were no official statements about it. Kiev regime did not confirm, did not deny nothing on that. And Russian officials did not say nothing. Only Russian embassy in South Africa posted their picture with destroyed F-16, which may be, indicator that Moscow indirectly confirming this information, although officially nothing was stated in Moscow. And now we have these additional reports about new strike on Starokonstantinov airfield, and reports are that another 3 F-16s were destroyed. So in total, if we count all the F-16s that Kiev regime allegedly lost, it will account for 8, because 1 F-16 was shot down allegedly by Patriot air defense system as a result of friendly fire. Then first Russian missile strike on Starokonstantinov that destroyed 4 F-16s, according to some sources, and there are now this new strike that destroyed another 3. So in total it's 8, isn't it? And we know that in the first batch of F-16s that were delivered formally to Kiev regime, there was 5 planes, I believe, 5 or 6, right? Not 8 for sure, which means that probably some additional deliveries of these planes took place, and it was not announced by NATO member states or by Kiev. And it is highly likely, dear friends, that maybe these planes were prepared to conduct long-range strikes deep inside the Russian territory. They were just waiting for a green light from Washington, and this green light just never came. And Russia knew, most likely through its intelligence means, about preparations of this long-range strike deep inside the Russian territory that was prepared by NATO, and that's why this airfield was basically eliminated, right? With whatever equipment was there, including these F-16 planes. Probably sometime in the future we will learn that something like that was in the conversation, and preventing Russian strikes basically possibly had some influence on decision-making process in Washington. And if they if they knew that these F-16s are destroyed and they cannot conduct at least massive long-range strikes deep inside the Russian territory, then I guess decision makers in the West could hold off this operation. Maybe that was the case, but in any ways, according to reports, Kyiv regime already lost about 8 F-16s, which is well, quite a number, isn't it? Quite a number, especially if you take into account that those F-16s did not even manage to participate even in a single operation, right? RT is reporting, dear friends, that US warships targeted in a complex missile and drone attack in the Red Sea. This happened, so Yemeni Houthi rebels have attacked American warships in the Middle East with their combined drone and cruise missile strikes. The Pentagon confirmed on Friday. Earlier in the day, their military group claimed to have struck these US destroyers, heading towards Israel in the Red Sea. Pentagon spokesperson Sabrina Singh confirmed that US Navy ships were attacked, but insisted that no damage was inflicted. Well, it's up to you, dear friends, who to believe. Houthi rebels that are claiming that they managed to strike these destroyers, or to Pentagon that are saying that no ship was damaged. I don't know, really. I don't have a strong opinion on that. Both sides could be right and could be wrong. But it is official that Pentagon at least is confirming that there was a combined complex missile and drone strike attack on US destroyers in the Red Sea. Also, dear friends, we have this report that US is outlines Iraqi withdrawal plans. So Washington will conclude their American-led international mission in Iraq over the next 12 months, according to joint statement from Iraq and US. The decision came aimed at escalating tensions in the Middle East with Israel and the Lebanese militant groups Hezbollah exchanging fire and threatening to expand the Gaza conflict. After intensive discussions between the Iraqi Higher Military Commission and US and the international coalition, the American military mission will transition to a bilateral security partnership, according to the joint statement published by the US State Department on Friday. Their phase-out will occur over the next 12 months, concluding no later than September 2025. However, the coalition forces occupation of their oil-rich areas of the neighboring Syria will continue until at least September 2026 to prevent the return of their ISIS terrorists threat. The statement added, well, ISIS is created by US, isn't it? US and UK secret services. Everybody knows that, right? Like Al-Qaeda was created by US secret services, by CIA. So this is all BS, obviously. This is all the BS. US militaries are presented in Syria illegally, obviously, for one reason only. They are stealing oil, basically, and they're securing these oil fields for themselves, because they are getting rich and rich on that. And I remember, dear friends, that Pentagon and CIA was always involved in these dodgy criminal operations. Just remember Afghanistan, a level of poppy grove there, and the level of heroin that was exported from Afghanistan during the US occupation. And now, just about a week ago, if I'm not mistaken, relatively recently, there was news in the media that after Taliban take over their Afghanistan, 99% decrease had happened in export of their heroin from this country. And question is rising: how come that during the U.S. occupation there was tons and tons and tons of heroin were produced, and once Taliban take over, it just vanished, this production of heroin. Maybe because CIA and Pentagon were directly under NATO member states or their allies that were participating in this occupation of Afghanistan. Maybe because militaries and security or secret services of those countries under leadership of CIA and Pentagon were directly involved in drug trafficking. Maybe that's the reason, right? And a similar story, by the way, in Syria. US militaries, US CIA is stealing billions from Syrians by occupying this land that is rich with oil and also gas. And simultaneously, one should keep in mind that CIA is using Kurdish military formations there as their proxies. They are using it against Syria. They are using these groups against Turkey as a pressure point, right? So that's the explanation, dear friends. US is stealing money from Syrians and simultaneously providing cover by their illegal presence in this northern parts of Syria, northern eastern parts of Syria, providing cover for Turkish paramilitary groups, Kurdish paramilitary groups, sorry. That's all. Although I'm not quite sure that they will be able to stay in Syria for up to 2026, it is highly likely that local militias will take care of it. And US soldiers will have no option but to lay down arms and surrender, or to flee, or to run away as fast as they can. That's what is going to happen there. Or there is other option, by the way. Pentagon may sacrifice their troops in Syria and basically leave them there in the Azor area, in some other parts, leave them there to die. No, Pentagon can do this, obviously. Leadership of US don't have any care about any US citizens, obviously. Militaries, not militaries, it's no any difference for them. RIA Novosti is reporting that Belarus, by the way, Belarus made an announcement about upcoming enlargement of the BRICS, which is very important, obviously. Very important. Let's translate this information, dear friends. So the first wave of the BRICS expansion is expected at the summit in Kazan and will affect about a dozen countries. Belarusian Foreign Minister Maxim Rizhnikov said in an interview with RIA Novosti on the sidelines of their high-level week of the UN General Assembly ending in New York. The first wave of the expansion, as we all expect, those who have submitted such applications will be just the same at the summit in Kazan. At the moment, the Russian presidency is just formulating a list of these countries that will be in a first wave of expansion. So this is first time, dear friends, that officials from BRICS are making statements. Officials, high-ranking officials, are making statements about expansion, upcoming expansion of the BRICS. And according to Foreign Minister of Belarus, 10 new countries will join this organization, most likely during the Kazan summit of the BRICS. I don't know. Expansion, BRICS is expanding too fast, too rapidly. But they should know better, isn't it, after all? Whoever is in a decision-making process there, probably they are ready. Probably BRICS is ready to continue its enlargement process, to accept more and more members, although me personally, I would prefer first some fundamental issues to be resolved. For example, alternative financial and the banking system to be created, alternative to their immensely weaponized Western one, and then new members to be accepted. That makes more sense to me personally, but yet again, no one cares what I think, isn't it? Maybe simultaneously we were here from Kazan summit of the BRICS about something about creation of this financial and banking system. Possibly, let's see. But yes, most likely 10 new members will join BRICS before end of this autumn. RIA Novosti is also reporting that India will not buy LNG from Russian Arctic SPG2 project. This was initially reported by Reuters, I believe. Let's translate this news. Also, and this is huge project, by the way, huge LNG project. So India is not going to buy liquefied natural gas LNG produced under the Arctic LNG2 project, reports Reuters, citing the secretary of their Ministry of Oil and Gas of their country, Pankaj Jain. According to their official, India does not purchase sub-sanctioned goods. What is under large-scale sanctions, we will not touch, he said. The US Treasury Department earlier this month added 2 shipping companies from India to the sanctions list, accusing them of collaborating with the Arctic LNG. So basically, I guess Reuters were provoking Indian official to say something like that. Although me personally, I'm quite sure, despite the Western sanctions on Arctic SPG project or any other Russian energy project or any other Russian business, despite the Western sanctions, businesses from friendly nations will find their ways to collaborate with Russian companies and to make some good money together. So therefore, I'm quite sure Arctic SPG2 project is going to be huge success, despite all the attempts of the Western ruling class to stop this development of this project. And by the way, Novatech company, who is leading this project, did not yet made any announcement on exports of the LNG. Process of production of LNG has already begun. It will be in 3 stages, and the process of production of LNG is begun, but no official statements were made yet about exports. So I guess this project is still in works. It's not yet fully ready to go on the world market. But once it does, I'm 100% convinced there will be many businesses worldwide and countries that would happily buy Russian LNG. No doubts about that, including from India. RT is also reporting that Google responds to Russian data backup warning. I mentioned this in yesterday's headlines, and unfortunately, dear friends, I was not able to publish a second update on Patreon due to some technical issues. It was a rainy day, windy day. When the rain stopped, I was thinking, it is time to make video, but wind, by the way, was too noisy. But I mentioned yesterday this information, and let's go through some details of it. So Google is planning to continue offering its free services in Russia. The company told the Moscow Daily Vedomosti. The US tech giant added that it was working on to resolve issue with their creating new user accounts. Earlier this week, the Ministry of Digital Development, Communications and Mass Media warned that Russian Google users should create backup copies of their data, saying that tech giant's parent company, Alphabet, had apparently started preventing them from registering new accounts in their country. Their announcement came shortly after some Google users in Russia experienced problems while trying to verify their identity via SMS, with the service reporting an error. Their ministry said users should switch to other methods of two-factor authentication. We know that some users in Russia are having issues using Google accounts, and we are working to resolve this issue. We remain committed to keeping our free services available in Russia, Google Google's press office told the newspaper. And dear friends, I don't know how trustworthy any representative of the Google can be. I certainly have some doubts about those people, about the integrity of those people and decency of those people, obviously. But if Google will violate rights of its Russian customers, then I would more than welcome Russia to ban everything associated with the Google in Russia forever. Everything. And forever. Not just for a year or two or before relationships will be resolved between Russia and the West, but forever. And same should be done, same approach should be taken against any company that violates rights of the Russian citizens or violates rights of the Russian customers. I believe this is the right approach to go forward, but let's see. At least for now, Google is stating that they are working on issues and they have no plans to leave Russia, at least for now. And this is it, dear friends. This is it for this moment. Let's once again check some media outlets, maybe any additional information on breaking news about leader of the Hezbollah. Well, for now, what we see here is a reporter. Come on, TASS news agency don't even have on the first page this news. Oh, it has a news, but somewhere definitely not in the top, which is, I mean, come on, TASS news agency. This is a big deal. This is major development. If Israel assassinated the head of Hezbollah, then that means next level of escalation in the Middle East, most likely. Let's see RBK. Maybe they have any update. No, nothing. Seems like Hezbollah didn't yet commented on this topic. Otherwise, at least some of the Russian media outlets would report about it also, right? So yes, this is it, dear friends. Major development, of course, for this moment is this statement from the statements from Israel about killing of the Hezbollah's leader. What is his name? Hassan Nasrallah. So let's see if Hezbollah will respond on that, confirm or deny, or what is going to be next steps from this group, and also from Iran and some other countries in the region. But unfortunately, yes, risk is very high that Middle East is heading towards full-out regional war. Unfortunately, this is it for now, dear friends. A relatively shorter update. Hopefully you will find it informative, interesting, useful. And if so, please click that like button, leave some commentary just about anything, any topic. This is the only way we can at least try to influence algorithm. And if you can, please share information about my channel with your friends in real life or on any of the platforms that you are actively using. And finally, if you like my work, if you like my channels, if you think me and my channels deserve to exist in this field of news and political commentary, please consider to support my work with small donations through PayPal or Boosty platform, or by subscribing to my Patreon page. Links are under this video in the description box and in the pinned comment. This is it for now. Have a wonderful day and great weekend. Take care.